Today was exhausting. Maybe I'll grab a drink before heading home. I'm Yoshihiko Kasama, 26 years old. Whenever I get home late because of overtime, I always stop by a yakitori restaurant. The food is great, but I also love the cool calligraphy of the chicken character in the restaurant's logo.
Welcome!
Oh, you're here again today. Over here.
Sitting at the counter and waving me over is Haruka Shimotsuma. She's the same age as me and a regular at this place.
Chef, another draft beer.
Coming right up!
Good evening, Haruka. Still as much of a drinker as ever, huh? How many beers in are you? Haruka is already quite tipsy. I smile wryly and sit next to her as she waves me over.
You just don't get it, do you? Young people these days, who cares how many I've had?
Aren't you also one of those young people?
If you keep sweating the small stuff like this, you'll never get popular with women. Oh, listen up. If you're counting drinks, you might as well not drink at all. Remember that.
I'm so sorry, please forgive me. But that never get popular part was unnecessary. Haruka's a beauty, but her personality is so bold, or maybe just sloppy, that it's overwhelming.
Chef, another draft beer.
What? You already finished? Never mind.
Yoshihiko, you're starting to get it now. Huh?
By the way, Haruka once said that it's the worst to complain about work while drinking, so I still don't know what her job is. I can't help but wonder. The two of us chat happily at the counter. Haruka is tipsy, while Yoshihiko watches her warmly. Alright, I guess I'll drink tonight to keep up with you, Haruka.
Good. Let's drink as much as we can tonight. I'll stick with you all the way.
What a straightforward person. We never plan to meet here, yet I always find myself hoping to see her whenever I come. And just as I hope, I meet her here 90% of the time, gradually building moments between us. And so, over time, I finally got Haruka's contact information.
Hey, Yoshihiko, you've been grinning a lot lately.
Do I really look like that?
Bullseye. Don't tell me you've got a crush. If it's about love, you should consult a pro like me.
This is Osuke Kanchigai, my senior by 2 years. He has a bad habit of not listening to others' opinions, but he's been looking out for me since I was a newbie. It's not really a consultation, but I do have someone I like. I told him about Haruka, the fellow regular I met at the yakitori restaurant.
What? You've got terrible taste. Are you really dating a woman with a drinking problem like that?
We've gone out a few times, but we're not officially dating.
Then stop now while you can. They say alcohol brings out a person's true nature.
Huh? That's why it's fine. I feel more at ease when someone shows their true self. Osuke pretends to sob with his arm over his eyes.
I'm so disappointed. I've looked after you since you were a newbie, only to see you walk into a relationship disaster like this.
She's not a disaster, okay? Please stop saying that. It's a harsh judgment. To me, who's drawn to Haruka's unfiltered self, it's downright offensive. So, what about you, senpai? How's your love life? Osuke enthusiastically talks about his crush.
Me? I'm head over heels right now. She's my ideal woman through and through.
So, this time you've really found your perfect traditional beauty.
That's right. Want to hear about her?
Osuke loves traditional, calm, and reserved women. In fact, he's even taken ikebana and tea ceremony classes to meet them.
I've started taking calligraphy classes. The students are mostly old guys, but the instructor is stunning. A real traditional beauty.
I see, a calligraphy instructor. That's an interesting encounter. Good for you.
And she says I'm the fastest learner in the class. I'm getting special treatment. This must be destiny. I'm going to break through the barrier of student and teacher.
The latter half of his story blurs the line between truth and exaggeration, but I have no intention of criticizing someone's love life.
So, Yoshihiko, ditch that sloppy woman and find yourself a proper traditional beauty. Later. I've got to wrap up work early for my calligraphy class.
I can't say I see him as a love expert, but his dedication to his ideals is admirable. Though he didn't stick with ikebana or tea ceremony, I hope calligraphy lasts. With that thought, I get back to work. Chief, another beer please. Tonight, Haruka's running late because of work. She told me to start without her, so here I am, having a beer at her usual yakitori spot.
Coming right up! Yoshihiko, you're starting to match Haruka's pace lately.
Am I? The chef's casual comment fills me with a mix of joy and embarrassment.
Still, Haruka getting this attached. Is this the flag for a heartwarming love story? The ultimate male fantasy?
The chef grins mischievously, clearly enjoying his own imagination. I tilt my head in confusion. What do you mean?
Haruka's been a regular here since before you started coming. Sure, she's had guys flirt with her. But I've never seen her get this close to someone before. You're the first, Yoshihiko. A real miracle story.
The chef's unique words send a thrill through my chest, making me feel tipsier than before.
Hey, Chef. You're not saying anything unnecessary, are you? Gotta keep an eye on you. 1 draft beer, please.
Haruka, slightly out of breath, sits with a thud and quickly orders her drink.
Before I get scolded, here's your beer. Yoshihiko, don't worry about me. Just go for it, kid. The wall is here to support you. Poof!
He disappears with remarkable speed, leaving the two of us alone. Turns out the chef might just be a bit of an otaku after all. Well anyway, good job today. It's rare for you to have unexpected overtime.
Yeah, recently there's been a lot going on. No, I better not complain about work. Cheers!
I wanted to know what she was about to say, but restrained myself and clinked her mugs together, saying cheers. Damn it, because of the chef's suggestive comments, I'm more conscious of her than usual. Haruka's drinking pace was slightly faster than usual, and before I knew it, she'd outpaced me in drunkenness. At first, she looked a bit tired, but soon she was back to her usual self, sitting cross-legged on the chair, which was a relief.
Ooh, by the way, I found a store across the station that has a whole lineup of rare premium shochu. I'm a bit busy now, but when things settle down, why don't we go together?
Sounds good. If it's premium shochu, does that mean they have the 3 M's?
Morizo, Mao, and Murao, right? They apparently do.
As we talk about looking forward to going, I happen to notice the memo on Haruka's left hand. That memo on your hand. It's just like Haruka to write memos on her hand these days, but what surprised me was how beautiful the handwriting was.
Oh, this? It always happens, right? When you want to jot something down, there's never any paper around.
Saying that, Haruka starts roughly wiping her hand with an oshibori. Your handwriting is beautiful.
Oh, I see that look. You think it's unexpected. How rude.
No, I mean, memos are usually scrawled, but yours are so neat. And it's on the back of your hand, which isn't easy to write on. I just think that's amazing. When I compliment her, Haruka widens her eyes slightly. Then she glances at her own hand, where the writing is already fading.
The neat handwriting. Well, I think it's partly because I learned it, but it's probably genetic. My dad has beautiful handwriting too.
Haruka begins talking about how her parents met.
When my dad was young, he was shy, awkward, and not much of a talker. Well, he's still pretty much like that. But he was confident in his handwriting, so he wrote a letter and gave it to someone. My mom. As soon as she saw his handwriting, she fell for him. She said if his handwriting had been bad, I might not even exist.
She laughs as if teasing, but the way she talks about it lovingly makes me stare at her in admiration. Wow, that's a beautiful story. Neat handwriting really does matter. They say it reflects one's personality. Actually, a senior at my company recently started going to a calligraphy class. But his reason is a bit impure. He's got a crush on the teacher, which is kind of a problem. When I said that, Haruka stopped mid-sip of her beer. She tilted her head slightly, looking puzzled, but I couldn't ask her why at that time.
Hey, Yoshihiko, I've got a favor to ask.
On the next day in the office hallway, Osuke-senpai approached me, hands rubbing together.
This weekend, there's a calligraphy contest at the class I go to. My work will be on display, too.
What? You just started and already? That's amazing.
Well, I'm the star student, after all. Also, if a student brings a lot of spectators, it'll boost their standing, right? I want to look cool in front of my beloved teacher, so I'm inviting everyone. You should come too, Yoshihiko.
And so that weekend, I went to the calligraphy contest venue as a favor to my senior. The large hall was rented out, showcasing works from elementary school students to adults. Wow, even the elementary school kids are impressive. I could never write like this. Where's Osuke-senpai's work displayed? As I wandered through the venue, someone called out to me.
Hey, Yoshihiko, over here, over here.
Hi, there are so many works and so many people here.
The class I go to is one of the biggest in the Japan Calligraphy Association. You must think better of me now, seeing a newbie like me showcasing work at a contest like this. This time, I've got a whole new level of dedication.
I'm impressed. So where's your piece displayed?
You'll see that later, but first, I want you to meet the teacher I'm so in love with.
Osuke grabs me and pulls me toward a female calligraphy teacher.
Teacher, do you have a moment? Yoshihiko, this is the traditional beauty I'm pursuing.
Huh? When the teacher turned around at Osuke-senpai's call, I was at a loss for words. There she was, standing tall with an elegant posture, wearing a kimono. It was Haruka.
Huh? Yoshihiko, why are you here?
This must be what people in Japan mean when they say like a pigeon hit by a pea shooter. Neither Haruka nor I could find the words to say.
Wait, what? You two know each other? What's going on?
Haruka tried to laugh elegantly with her hand over her mouth, but her hand was covered in memos. Seeing that snapped me out of my daze. Well, she's the woman I mentioned before. We became friends at the yakitori restaurant we both frequent.
What? No way, stop joking around. You said the woman you like is that sloppy drunk. Don't compare someone like that to my ideal traditional beauty, the teacher.
Even if you tell me not to compare them.
Sloppy drunk, huh? Sorry to disappoint.
Wait, no, that's not what I meant. It's a figure of speech. No, I can't process this. My perfect traditional beauty. No, this can't be.
Osuke-senpai scratched his head furiously. He must have been really shaken.
That's what happens when you judge people based on one side of them. The version of me in a kimono as a calligraphy teacher is real. And the version of me at the yakitori bar, letting loose and sometimes getting drunk, is also real.
I just can't believe it. Traditional beauty should be reserved and refined. I thought the teacher was definitely like that.
Enough. Stop deciding who I am on your own.
Eep.
Osuke shrinks back from Haruka's anger, but suddenly, as if struck by an idea, he raises his index finger.
That's it. How about having a drink with me sometime? Maybe Yoshihiko's judgment is off, and... They say seeing is believing, right? So if you just have a drink with me once...
I didn't mind you coming to the class for my sake as long as you were serious about calligraphy. But you're not serious about improving or working on your craft. There's no way I'd like a man like that, let alone go drinking with him. Yoshihiko saw the sloppy and lazy side of me and still praised me for being genuine and honest. That made me happy. It made me feel like both my calligraphy teacher side and my personal side are equally me. Compared to someone who pushes their ideals onto me, I think he's much more a wonderful person.
No way! I can't believe I lost to Yoshihiko!
Haruka's words caused Osuke to crumble to the ground in despair. Suddenly, there was a commotion in the venue.
Chairman, thank you for your hard work. What brings you here?
Where's Haruka? I need to speak with her right away.
A man in a kimono, referred to as chairman and presumably the contest organizer, appeared in front of Haruka.
I'm here. Dad, what's the matter?
So this man is Haruka's father, and the chairman of the Calligraphy Association?
There you are, Haruka. What's the meaning of that piece? In the adult category, there's one work that looks like a child's level of writing.
I thought you'd notice that, Dad.
This isn't funny. Are you trying to ruin our association's reputation?
I told you before, didn't I? There's a problematic student who isn't serious about calligraphy and just keeps hitting on me. I wanted him to realize how amateurish his skills really are, so I intentionally let him exhibit.
What? I see. I understand your feelings, Haruka, but even so, that's too much. It said Osuke Kanchigai, didn't it? I'll personally visit the class and give him a stern warning.
Ah, that student. He's the one collapsed over there.
Prompted by Haruka, her father shifts his gaze to the slumped Osuke. Osuke had boasted that his exhibition was a special privilege, but it turns out the reality was entirely different.
How do you approach calligraphy? Sure, people fall in love, but your priorities are all wrong.
Thank you, Chairman. No, father-in-law. Thank you for hosting the calligraphy class. Thanks to N, I was able to meet Haruka-sensei, the ultimate traditional beauty.
Are you even listening? I'm asking how you think about calligraphy.
Calligraphy is a way to meet the teacher, because the teacher is that important to me.
Haruka spreads her arms in exasperation. Her father's next words were predictable.
You fool!
Eek!
I'm giving you a chance to explain yourself, but all you can do is blabber about Haruka. There's a saying, calligraphy reflects the heart. You can tell everything about a person's thoughts from their writing. Judging by that work of yours, I figured you weren't much of a man, but you've exceeded my worst expectations. That's enough, you're banned from entering the class.
Why?
As your father, it's only natural to consider my daughter's safety. I could even report you to the police.
Apparently, Osuke's love wasn't just about his persistence in class, but extended to stalking Haruka after lessons. He was lucky it didn't escalate to a criminal case. After being rejected by Haruka and banned from the class, Osuke was so shocked he skipped work for a few days. I thought he might quit, but one day, he suddenly showed up at the office, full of energy, and started pestering me as usual.
Yoshihiko, I've realized something. The real traditional beauties must exist in the world of haiku. I've decided to start attending a haiku class. Wanna join me, Yoshihiko?
I was speechless. What kind of mental resilience does this guy have? Needless to say, I politely declined his invitation to the haiku class. A few days later, I met up with Haruka again at the usual yakitori bar after her busy time with the contest. You know, when I went to the contest and saw your calligraphy, I noticed something. The large chicken written on this shop's door, that's your work, isn't it?
Oh, you figured it out? The chef asked me to write it when the place was being renovated.
The reason I decided to step into this bar for the first time was because I liked that logo. So meeting you here and getting to know you feels like destiny.
What's this about destiny all of a sudden?
Haruka, I like you. Will you go out with me?
Sure. Thank you. I like you too. But first, you'll have to join my class.
Huh? Why?
Calligraphy reflects the heart. You saw, didn't you? How stubborn my dad is? A polite verbal greeting won't work with him. But if you can write a beautiful handwritten letter, that'll be enough.
Understood. Haruka, no, sensei, please teach me.
I won't wait forever for my father's approval, so I'll be strict with you. Well, even if you don't improve, I can always write a letter to my father expressing my feelings for you. Now I kind of understand why that guy came to the class, though I'd never admit it to him.
Haruka seemed excited about a future where we'd spend time together even in class, though I didn't realize it then.
Hey, Chef, I won't say what it is, but you're being noisy. Good. You have potential, but here, at the start of the stroke.
I like her sloppy side, but her composed figure as a calligrapher is equally stunning. You can't judge someone by just one side of them. It's natural and charming to have different facets. Even Haruka, who's so genuine, surely has sides of herself I haven't seen yet. And I look forward to discovering them together.
Hello, Brittany here. Oh, I loved this episode. Seeing the handwriting and the sign, it's so cute. I love that kind of thing. Anyways, I will see you all in the next episode. Bye-bye.